Okay, welcome everybody to the weekly live broadcast from Inspire Tech with your host, Lori Swanson, your career wayfinding coach, also the CEO of Inspire Tech and the founder of Career Alchemy Academy, a membership community for women connected to tech in some way, shape, or form who are at a career crossroads, ready for different, want to get clear on their vision and how to get there, reconnect with their SQ, their spiritual intelligence, and handle the tactics and the strategies and take the actions, but at the same time, making sure that where they're going is aligned with who they are today. So that's me, my mini commercial. That's where I am. This screen might look a little different than it has because I decided to change it up today and use my Inspire Tech screen with a QR code to my primary homepage because I have a couple of one-on-one coaching spots that are coming open. So looking for, if you've been looking for coaching and you want to talk to me, there's a place to schedule a call on the website and we can talk about what you're looking for, how I work, see about the process that we would work through together to get you where you want to go and see if it makes sense, right? What else can I tell you about today? Today's the first day of spring. And if you live in Chicago or North, Wisconsin, Minnesota, it doesn't feel like spring. It does not feel like spring. Well, I heard my sister was in the Twin Cities yesterday. It was snowing here, and she said it was sunny and nice there. So I am not really sure. I am not really sure. Maybe it's Chicago only that the first day of spring, I woke up to the consideration of pulling back out my boots and shoveling the driveway. I chose not to because it's supposed to be like in the 50s tomorrow, so it'll melt away. And I went deep water running instead. What else can I say? My Texas Longhorns let me down for the March Madness tournament, but Illinois is in there. Some other of my favorite teams are in there, so I'm looking forward to playing March Madness. I am in a pool, and I have to say, like any addiction. I won the first NCAA pool that I was ever in. Louisville was my team, shout out. And I won the whole thing. And I have to tell you, I don't know how many years ago it was, let's say 25 or something. And ever since then, I'm like, I can do this. And, I crashed and burned early, and this year will probably not be any different. I think the real struggle was I kept looking at the favorite versus the contender and wanting to pick the contender and often picking the favorite, which we all know the favorites might get to the final four, but somewhere earlier in your pool, you need to be picking some of these upsets. And I just didn't do it this year. A couple, but most case I kind of went with the favorites. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. What else? I really don't know. I really don't know. So let's get to the topic. So today, what I want to talk to you about, this blog, I have to tell you, one of my favorites that I've written in a long time, less about, the actual writing of it and more about the topic, which is based off of a podcast that I am obsessed with and been telling everyone about. So today, what we're going to talk about is career telepathy and the unlocking of your mind's hidden potential. Doesn't that sound good? So, the podcast that I'm obsessed with is called the Telepathy Tapes, and it's hosted by Kai Dickens, and it's about they're like 2 seasons in, I think. I finished when I wrote the blog. I was deep into season 1. I've now completed season 1 as of this broadcast. I have and I'm now in between seasons, which I love. She has like these um, additional interviews and things that didn't quite maybe fit into the podcast story that she was telling for season one or into season two, but they're so great. There's more interviews with the people. So let me just tell you about the telepathy tape. So it started with, well, if you, in the first few episodes, what you're learning is that it's about the um, autistic children, so who have low or no verbal skills, often, limited control of their bodies and what their bodies are doing, yet they are communicating, doing mental telepathy with often their mothers or other caregivers, teachers, people they trust. They are able to read first, what you learn, and I'm not giving, you got to listen to it. I'm not giving very much away, but you learn that you're hearing about how they're actually reading other people's thoughts, and so they're doing tests like putting whoever, the mother, in another room, and the child is using what they call I don't know, they're like spelling boards, to point to, and the mom will, randomly open up a book and pick a word out of it, and then, two rooms away, the child will spell out the word, or they'll do a flashcard number and the child will pick the number on the board, those sorts of things. Um, they will also, so that's kind of what they start talking about, but then then in a little bit further in, you start to hear about some of these caregivers that are also able to read the kids' thoughts, right? And I'm like, oh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Because of course I don't know if I'd want to, I certainly don't want people reading every one of my thoughts, and there's enough clutter in my world to also be receiving people's thoughts without some skills and abilities to, turn off the thoughts when you don't want them, or um, sort of sift through and only take the ones you need, sort of thing. I think that would be stressful, more clutter in my brain, right? But at the same time, it's intriguing as a superpower to have telepathy, invisibility. Yeah, I'm all down with that. But telepathy, I might consider it. So, in any case, um, through this podcast and listening to it, I'm becoming a believer, and I was already skewing that way anyways, but there are certainly skeptics as well, as there should be, and I would say, there's always going to be, we're all have been raised in a world that emphasizes scientific and materialistic proof and physical proof, as that something that's the only time something is real, is if we can prove it scientifically, or you can see it and hold it and that sort of thing. And of course thoughts, they're, you can't see them, right? You can't really smell them. So but through listening through these tapes, it has left me, and the experiences that they're sharing, it's left me like zero doubt that thoughts and emotions are being exchanged as a form of energy in ways that we all don't fully understand. I certainly don't fully understand it, but I believe it's happening. That thoughts and energy are shared between the kids and their caretakers. Some of them, not all the moms can. The kids, I think, pretty much can all read their mom's minds, or the primary caregiver or whoever. It doesn't necessarily mean the other direction is happening, but um, they're in these controlled tests. The kids are accurately reading the minds of the adults, who are silently thinking these numbers, like I said, and they're talking about a field where the nonverbal communication is happening. And it just confirms what I already have deeply believed, that everything, your thoughts, your feelings, the actions that you take are a form of energy, right? So what does this mean, this idea of telepathy, um, mean with relationship to your career? So stick with me. I got this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to make that connection. And so what I think is that it means we are sitting on untapped power, like untapped superpower. And, you know, we're used to relying on our five senses to navigate the world. But what if you could, if there was another sense, maybe it's the sixth sense. I'm not really sure. I like the movie, but I'm not really sure if that's what we're talking about. But I would think so. Like this, it's sort of this energy field, this sense energy field that's sending messages and information that isn't necessarily, again, something we smell or hear or taste or see, or even physically feel, yet we can feel it energetically. Like an emotion is felt energetically, but you can't see that, right? So, what if there's a way to navigate the world where you have access to this expanded sense, one that works faster, one that's more intuitive, um, one that would allow you to sharpen your ability to sort of read the energy in a room so you can adjust. It would also maybe give you a sense of the next right career move, career step you could take before logic rushes in and tries to, steer you off this idea of pursuing a creative, um, more creative path, or a career that's, left of center, that's not what your logical mind, or perhaps, the culture, your family, whoever, would think would be right for you. Or again, I was just at an event here in Wheaton at the Theosophical Society, and I haven't been there in a long time. I just love that building. And the person who was speaking had been an attorney. And she was telling the story about how, as the days became weeks, became months, became years, walking into her office was, completely draining her energy, until the day in which she quit and just decided that she was going to write. And of course, her family was like, this is nuts. You are, you did paid for all the education, got your law degree, you've been a working attorney, all of those things. But there was something inside of her, this expanded sense, that I think was nudging her, as I call it, the career nudge, nudging her to something different. And of course, now I don't know how many books. She just released a book that's a national bestseller. Her name is Tama Keeves, and her book is called Trust Your Intuition, which sounds a lot like the book I'm writing, The Career Nudge, but I'm not reading her book because I don't want to swipe too much out of it. But I know, because I know her well enough from previous books and seeing her live, that we're kindred spirits. And honestly, I don't believe that any of the information that comes through me or you or her or anyone is of me. I'm just the channel for it, right? It's moving through me. It needs to be out in the world. And there's no surprise that someone, clear across the planet may release a very similar book, or a social media post that is almost exactly like someone else's social media post, because there's this expanded field up here that we can all draw on. So back to your career and career telepathy. So just imagine that there is this place where I'm closing my eyes, because you can get still and begin to receive the downloads of guidance that could be available telepathically, to your own inner wisdom, so that you can then take the next step. And then you can listen again, and you can call on this field. You can allow those downloads to come in, attract opportunities that are aligned more fully aligned with your, you know, who you are today, where you're going. Um, and, I don't know. I mean, you can think either way, right? So, what if you were to believe that you were being guided and that there was a way in which telepathically you could receive this guidance so that indecision or overwhelm, confusion, like none of that needs to happen any longer. One of the tools that I teach inside of Career Alchemy Academy and with my one-on-one um, coaching clients and that I've talked about before is the mindset model. And to me, the mindset model, where it very much is focusing, we focus on your thoughts and your emotions as the creators of your outcomes in the physical world. It directs your actions and then creates the results that you are experiencing in the physical world. So, um, the you know this is, with the mindset model, the tool of which I'm certified, the cool thing about it is that it's a skill you can learn. Because I'm thinking about these people and I'm like, wow, that mom is able to communicate telepathically. It's like Star Trek, one of my favorite TV series, right? For all you Trekkies out there, the Spock, the mind meld, and there's just this, and I sometimes think to myself that the movies are often predicting, they're already future casting, they're already have, um, oh, what does Martha Beck call it? Premembering. It's, we're instead of remembering something that already happens, we're premembering something that's happening in the future, and it's now we're remembering it now. And so um with but it feels almost like you either got it or you don't, right? But with the mindset model, it's a skill I can teach you. It's a self-coaching skill. It is a mind manager that helps you to um you know well, it helps you to track your thoughts, raise awareness to your thoughts, and understand the emotions that are underneath them. But it's something that's teachable, and I can tell you the truth is that you can like binge watch YouTube videos all day long, take LinkedIn learning courses, read all the career advice books that you want, but if you're not managing your mind, your actions will fall short. The results will be less than desirable. You're going to feel stuck and confused and like directionless. But once and even unsure of your next best step, but without coaching and again, a self coaching tool or working with a coach to identify those unproductive thoughts, to clear the mental clutter, to help regulate your emotions, you're going to struggle to access your creativity, your confidence, your intuition, your clarity. You're just going to struggle because it's like just a messy closet up there. And so, and the mindset model helps you to declutter, remove unproductive, unwanted thoughts, straighten some things out, put things in the right place, and then it helps you to have a clearer sense, a clearer path to where you want to go next. So when you master the mindset tool that I'm talking about, then you begin tapping into much larger fields of possibilities and opportunities for yourself, the ones that are meant for you, versus the ones that other people may think you're going to be good at, or and your body will tell you something's off, and then as you begin to trust that, and your body is perhaps receiving this career telepathy, intuitive sense that that choice, that decision, that suggestion is out of alignment. I love that word. There's no better word, out of alignment. So if, if you're interested in tapping into a larger field, if you um, would like to become a master of, managing your brain and and helping your brain to focus on those things that are more fruitful, more productive, more energizing than its typical, negativity bias of finding the worst case scenario and then wanting to solve that. Then definitely schedule a call with me. We can talk. But no matter what, career telepathy, you can think about it as an exchange of energy, um, through your thoughts, through your emotions, that can increase the your ability to receive the guidance that you need when you're feeling uncertain. So I just think that let's use all that's available to us, right? And let's become career tel telepaths. I don't even know if that's it. Let's just become experts at career telepathy and experts at receiving information, discerning information, so we can separate out the things that are more cultural or societal, um, uh, feedback from our true inner voice. And that that's got this, I sort of think of it as like a divine line of communication that's, again, telepathically communicating to us all the time, always offering us guidance, always here to help. And so, hey, let's do this together. Let's become telepathic in some way, shape, or form. Why not? Sounds like fun. More fun than watching the news, I can tell you that. So that's it for today. And again, schedule a call with me. Consider Career Alchemy Academy if you are looking for more of a group community experience. But if you like, someone to pay direct attention to you, not that I don't inside of the academy, but you get what I'm saying. Like really focus on where you're at and where you're looking to go, then one-on-one coaching is the best path for that. And no matter what, I'd love to get to know you more. Love to, close our eyes and see if we can send each other messages. See if you can guess what I'm saying now. Yes. What I'm saying is peace and have fun on this first day of spring. And, send me all your good vibe telepathic thoughts, and I will do the same for you. Great day.